Hello everyone, welcome back to the final part of the series. I think it's the part fifth, fifth part of the series. This is going to be where I export the character into Unity and then basically walk around with it a bit so that we can see how the animations work and stuff like that. So let's just get to it. So I'm going to pick up from the last part. So go into select object mode, A Alt G Alt R. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. A Alt R. No, that's not working. Okay, so go into pose mode, A Alt G Alt R, and then go into object mode. So I'm just gonna save it here. So with the object in the object mode, press A to select the whole character without the reference or anything else. Just do that. Export. Going to export and then FBX. And over here, in parts mode, select copy. This is for the textures, and then click this so that it's blue. And over here, armature and mesh, armature and then shift select mesh. In the apply scaling one, apply FBX unit scales. Okay, that's all you have to do. And select all selected objects, limit to selected objects. Okay, so that's all you have to do to export it. So export FBX. So now I've got the exported one. Go into Unity. Let's just make a plane first. 3D object, plane. Let's call this ground. And a few, let's just say a few things. Object, obstacle, or whatever, so that we can see if we're moving or not. 1.5. See? Just throw it on play. Okay, so we've got this one now. So go into the part where we exported it. This is the character robot FBX I exported. Take that and bring it into Unity just like that. So now we've exported the character quite successfully, I might add. Okay, so select the character, go into the materials tab, extract material. Sorry, first let's extract materials. Okay, let's just clean it out a bit. Create folder character. Okay, tabs lock was on, tabs lock, tabs. It's called lock here. Yeah. Drag it in there. Select the character, extract materials, new folder, materials. Okay, in the character folder, material folder. Extract them there. Extract textures. Textures. Extract them there. And now you'll see it's colored. Early on it wasn't colored. What? Textures. Okay, so what we have to do is select the material, lock here, go into character textures, and then draw. Just put the character there, texture. Okay, take the lock off. Something's not right. For this guy. This material. Okay, so the albedo, select that, and this guy. Okay, so now it's working. As you can see, it's working all right now. So the robot character, and we've got the obstacle as a reference to see where we're walking. Okay, so we've got this guy. So now what we need to do is, if you select this, you would need to over here. So we have dab, idle, and walk animations, and walk is going to be looped, idle is going to be looped, dab is not going to be looped, I think. Yep. So in the which part was it? Okay, let's apply everything. Everything's applied now, yeah. Okay, so select this character, add component, animator. Okay, animator. Over here, right click, create animator controller. Let's just type in controller. Select this and drag this in. So I'm just going to drag this out because it makes it easier to see stuff. So open this tab. Now let's just sort this out first. Control D, select each one, Control D, Control D. So this is the dab one, no looping, looping, and looping. Okay. So what we need to do is, the first thing is going to be idle, right? The entry state is going to be idle. From the idle you can walk or dab. And from walk you should be able to dab. Well, now that would imply sloping and yeah. So from idle we can transition to walk, and this transition should have a no exit time, and from walk it should have no exit time. But first let's just test if it works anyway. Let's just say it has exit time. Let's see, does it start walking? First it will play the idle animation and then it starts walking. Yeah, so the animation is working right. And let's see if it dabs as well. Let's delete this. So it will be the idle animation first and it's dabbed. So it dabbed once, okay, and then transition back. So after dabbing it's just going to go back. Okay, once again I'm not a professional, or I haven't been doing it for that long anyway, so this is just my basic understanding of how Unity works. So the next thing we need is, on this character we need a character controller component, and we need to make it so that it is, let's say it's 1. I think that about covers it. Height, yeah, that's the whole thing. Character controller, and then we can say capsule collider with the exact same properties, 1 and height of 2. Yeah. So we've got the character control. Let's just make the plane a bit bigger. Let's say 10, 10, and the obstacle, I think we should just color them as well, so that we have a contrast. Ground material, made a ground material, apply here, and then make the material a bit like that. Let's just create an obstacle material. Obstacle. Apply it to the cube and then make it completely black. And for the camera, let's just first, before everything else, let's just make a camera script, follow set script. Camera follow script. Create an ad and then open it up. Okay, so let's see, we'll need a few things. Will be public vector3 offset. We will need a public transform target, and from yeah, that's about it. So in update we'll say transform dot position equals target transform dot position plus offset. That's all we have to do for the camera mainly. So let's just go back into Unity, and here let's just put the target transform as character robot, and let's see, at the start it's just going to zoom inside. So what we need is we need to drag it up a bit. So on the z-axis -2 maybe, -4. Okay, so this looks alright. It's a very simple thing. 2 and -4 offset. 2 comma -4. 2 is tab -4. So it's very simple, because I'm not going to be animating left right. I'm just going to show you that when I press W it goes forward and it animates, when I press S it goes backward and animates. It's not going to turn around because that's a bit more complicated. There's a bit more work for that. Okay, so let's just go back, and on the character itself let's just add a component, player movement script, create and add, double tap, open it up if it works. So in the player movement script, what we will need to access the character controller and the animator. So go over there, character controller, animator, Tika. Okay, I said Tika, that means okay. No. Anyway, so you have the start method, which means that before the first frame update, let's just say character controller equals get component character controller and animator. Sorry, that was an animator equals get component animator. So what these two will do, I wouldn't assign them in the inspector. I'm just going to take them from the from the game object. So every object that this is something that confused me a lot when I was first starting out. My voice needs to improve. I think my throat is breaking. I don't know. So so anything that has the player movement script attached onto it, for example this player, at the start method, which is before the first frame update, it will try to assign character controller to get component character controller. So it will say, okay, I'll go to, since there's nothing else, it's just get component, so it'll look at the game object it's attached to, and it'll go through all the components and find the correct one. So character controller component is this one. So so it'll assign this to this, and then in the next part that the animator to this animator. So that's how it assigns it. And then we're going to say, let's say if, what's going on here, avatar icable, but if, let's say each frame update, let's just check if input dot get key, and let's say the key is key code dot w. If W is pressed in any frame, we're gonna say let's just use a bool evoking script. I'm doing this because I'm gonna do something that I'll explain it later. So in the animator, so we have the idle animation, and we're gonna connect it to this one, but we're gonna take off the exit time, and we're gonna go into parameters here. So going to animator, there's layers and there's parameters. Add a bool. Let's just say is walking. and then go to the transition conditions, add is walking true, it's gonna walk, and make a reverse transition and take the exit time off, add is walking false. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. If input dot w, then say animator dot get bool apologies, and that's set bool, I believe. Is walking to true. I don't know why I did this. I don't think this is needed anyway. It might have been needed when I'm doing the dubbing thing, but right now it's not needed. So what we can do is check first if animator dot get bool so we're going to check if it's already true. If it's true, we're going to do nothing, else we're going to set it to this one. I'll show you what this does. What is oh, okay, and after this one, if W is not pressed, we're gonna check else if, and we're gonna do it for not W but S, so that's forward and backwards. I know this is a bit more like not complicated, but it's a bit more codey than what it should have been. There's probably easier ways to do it, but I'm just gonna finish this. So I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, so the only two, so it's only, I'm only gonna be doing it for two buttons, A, S and W. Okay, so if neither S nor W has been pressed, where is this one? Okay, so else if this one. Okay, and then else if neither of them are true, then I'm gonna set this one to false. It's probably not good practice to make it so much like keep on repeating it. Well, I'm gonna explain now. So every framework is gonna check if W is pressed, it's gonna put this value to true. If it's pressed and it is already true, it's not gonna do anything. If it's not true, it's gonna push it to true. I need to do that here though. False. If it's false, do nothing. So it's comparison operator. If it's false, do nothing. Else, sorry, do this. Okay, so let me explain. So if W is pressed, it's going to check if it's already true. If it's true, it's not going to do anything. If it's false, it's going to set it to true. And for the second one, it's going to check if it's S. If it's F and it's already true, it's not going to do anything. If it's S and it's not true, it's gonna push it true. And if both of these are not true, it's just gonna push. It's gonna check if it's false. It's not gonna do anything. If it's not false, it's gonna push it to false. Now, let's just check it in the game view. So let's just shift space. So right now I'm not pressing anything. If I press W, it starts walking. I'm holding W right now. It's walking. I stopped holding W, and it just pushes it back to the idle animation. It reverses. Remember in the let me go back. In this part, if it's true, it's gonna walk. If it's false, it's gonna go back to the idle state. So that's what's happening. Now what needs to happen is I need to walk as well. If it's W, character controller dot move, so I need to put a vector 3 new vector. Like if you were making a more complicated game, you'd probably move in a very different manner. So for example, you take the front of the character and then move in that way for W. So this is the X, Y, Z. We need to move in the Z direction, so let's just say 1. And if it's S, we need to move it in the opposite direction, so -1. Let's see if it's working. Wee, that's too quick. It's too quick though, isn't it? Let's just do 0.1. 0.1 and put an F there as well, because it's 1 F. Take it. Okay. I think it's still too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is 1 -1, okay, and then I'm gonna, I think in the character controller component there's a speed option. There's no speed option. Let's just add speed. Public float speed. Let's just keep it like that. And when we're walking, let's just say times speed times speed. Okay, so now let's just go back here. Let's just find the right thing. So now right now its speed is at 0, so it's just going to animate and do nothing else. If speed is at, let's say, 0.1, it's going to go like that. Let's say 0.01. This is a bit too slow. Yeah. Let's say 0.05. I think this is the right one. So this is a very basic character controller, and it's a very basic animation controller, and it's a very basic robot that I've made. So let's just see what's happening. Okay, so this is the character animation and everything else done. Let's see, let's just see the character from the front as well. Let's see what it looks like from the front. Sorry, this one. See? That's what it looks like from the front. So now it's let's see, 0.05. That's the speed I've put in. 0.05. Get off the test mode and then put the speed there. So now what I'm going to do is armature DAP, and it is going to have an exit time and it's just gonna go back to the armature idle. So so for this one, it would need to be walking needs to be false, and I'll need to add another parameter. Let's just say dabbing as a parameter is dabbing is dabbing. So, and is dabbing is true. Is walking needs to be false. Is dabbing needs to be false. And from dab to walk, then walk to dab. So for this transition from dab to walk, shouldn't have an exit time, and you just say is walking is true, is dabbing is false, and the other way around, you should have an exit time. You're going to say is walking is false, is dabbing is true. So let's see. I don't know if it's going to work. I haven't done like staying still animations in this way. I've only done normally like the okay. So for dab, let's just check for if input.getKey code dot, let's just say p for pose. If that is true, animator dot set bool is dabbing to be true. Okay, so I'll need to search for that thing as well. If it's true already, for this one I'm going to do get bool. If it's true, do nothing. Else do this, which is turn it true. And in the other part as well, let's copy this, copy, paste. If it's false, do nothing, else put it to false. I think it was T for the pose. Sorry, P. Okay, so if I press P, it poses. The problem, the dab animation holds. So walking is not. I need to sort that out a bit. It's not the perfect thing. So what we can do is set this one to exit time. No, not this one, the other one. Like the transitions that go into these walking or the idle one. No, it's not working. Let's just take them off. I think I just need to code a bit more, but no. As I've shown you, it works. The animations are working. You just need to code a bit more. I think, for example, let's just say if you're walking and dabbing, you're only walking. If you're walking and then you press dab, you'll stop walking and then dab. So you can just add another bool here in the private one, and then check if you're walking, and if you dab, press the dab button and you're walking, you'll stop walking and then you'll dab. And if you're not dabbing, then you are definitely can walk, something like that, can walk. Okay, so I'll just finish it here. So my tutorial series is complete today, and this one, hopefully people will find it helpful in understanding how Unity and Blender works and how to make characters. I looked for a robot character creation tutorial, but it wasn't that. There were none basically. There were some, but there were no basic ones, and some of them did. I don't know. I didn't find any good ones. I don't think I found anyone, to be honest. Anyways, that's why I made this one, so that if someone wants to make a robot character, they can have a start somewhere. And yep, that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. It's been a wonderful time, and hopefully you guys will find it helpful. Thank you once again, and goodbye.